Interesting.
Let's do this. What's up, guys? I'm Christian.
I'm Carlos.
And this is the Unexpected Analysis, episode 15. Which is awesome. And it's we're doing a great movie this time around. The most anticipated movie for us, for sure, of the summer/fall, which is
It. And it's literally called It.
2 letters, people.
That's right. It's the adaptation of Stephen King's novel. Obviously, It. The killer clown Pennywise.
One of his most famous novels, for sure.
That's right. Stephen King is the king of horror genre and other suspense novels. Right now, the film is setting at a $13.5 million,
Which is huge for a Thursday.
For Thursday night, it is. Yeah, with a budget of $35 million.
Which isn't big, people.
It isn't, especially for this highly anticipated film, which, we love right now.
Such a huge fan base. You'd expect a film like this to have a much larger budget, but honestly, it wasn't needed. The budget that they got obviously got the job done, because we're here to tell you that the Unexpected Analysis of this movie.
We loved it.
Loved it.
With a heart and with a balloon, because the balloon signifies Pennywise.
That is true. That is true. Let's talk about the director, huh?
Andy Muschietti.
I hope we're pronouncing that right. We just like...
We're sorry, Andy
It's
Muschietti. If you ever watch this, you probably won't. But Muschietti. Anyways,
he did great.
He did, actually, for his, I guess you would say
right.
directorial debut as a big, blockbuster.
Yep.
He did Mama, which was
Well received,
by many critics and audiences.
but it wasn't the biggest movie,
And it starred Jessica Chastain and
Jamie Lannister
from Game of Thrones. A lot of people liked it, and I think that's why they chose him for this film. I believe the Duffer Brothers wanted to direct this film, but since they didn't have a very big, big rap sheet for film, they didn't really get it.
But you don't really need that nowadays, because there's definitely a trend in Hollywood where they're taking small-time directors and giving them these huge payloads and these huge projects.
Yeah, especially with the indie.
It's worked out so far,
And we love this type of directing that Andy portrayed in this film.
Right.
And it was just phenomenal. We loved it. And,
and we're giving him a 10. And that brings us to
plot and writing.
Plot and writing. Good God Almighty, the pacing of this film was perfect. The writing for this film was great. There was so much humor in this film, which no one really expected.
No.
But it was so well received. The whole theater was busting up laughing. I'm sure people outside were like, "Are they really watching a horror?"
Yeah, it felt such like a Stand By Me film when the kids were on the screen, just them.
The Goonies.
That kind
of film.
It felt so good. It felt heartwarming when the kids were all together and they were helping each other out. But when Pennywise came to the screen, you were like, "Oh shit, it's getting real."
Right. But even in those moments, the stuff that the kids would say or how they would react was comical.
Especially Finn Wolford. He plays Richie in the film, and later on you find out who his character becomes in the book and film. But
you may know him from Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his character actually brings a comedic side, and even his friend Eddie, they kind of clash together with certain remarks, and it's great. The writing and obviously the writing doesn't go away from the book. They did tweak some stuff with the characters and some of the plot line,
just to make it more believable for nowadays audiences, and it worked. It worked very well. Their chemistry all together, all 7 kids. You got to think these writers had to make backstories and character development for 7 kids.
Yeah.
That's not even including the boys, and they did a phenomenal job.
And even Stephen King and The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, have seen it twice.
Those are reliable sources, if I may say so myself.
And us.
And now you got us.
Yeah. I mean,
so
it's a trifecta, a triangle. You got The Rock, Stephen King, and us.
We're not with it. That's what we think. But so we're going to give the plot and writing a 10. And that brings us to acting, just like we talked about right now. The chemistry of the kids, of the Losers Club, and everybody on screen was great. But we have to talk about it himself.
Bill Skarsgård.
Good God Almighty.
The way you portrayed Pennywise is something that I would want to see come to character, come to life in a film, because much kudos to Tim Curry, and he did a fantastic.
A big shadow.
Yeah, exactly. But Bill Skarsgård, you are phenomenal.
You blew me away, bro.
Your method acting was great, bro.
We know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did great, man.
The chills were the whole time when he come to the screen. It felt like Heath Ledger on The Dark Knight when I first saw it.
People reacted to him.
Ooh.
Because they kind of had the same thing, people saw him being casted, Bill Skarsgård, and they were kind of like, "Oh, he's too pretty, he's too young, this and that." But he's menacing. He's 6'3", 6'2". He's a tall guy. So to see this 1800s style clown demonic clown, 6'3", hovering over anybody.
And people didn't like this new style of It or Pennywise because they said it was too,
people don't like change.
Yeah, exactly. But I loved it. I liked the hair. I liked the costume. It was creepy.
He was honestly scary. I would definitely believe someone if they said that he gives you nightmares.
Yeah.
He gave himself nightmares playing the character.
Yeah, he did actually.
So acting, 10. And that brings us to cinematography. People, cinematography of the film was hands down one of the best of the summer. Up there with Planet of the Apes and Dunkirk. And Wonder Woman, definitely. There was just so much nostalgia in this film. And for a film to be able to give us who aren't from the 80s nostalgia, it'd be pretty darn good.
Yeah, especially when it pans over the city of Derry. It feels like I've said before, Stand By Me, because Stand By Me has that feel of this film. It's set in the 80s, and it's the cinematography, especially with when they're near the house, the you'll see. It pans over to this tree, and they're all walking up to it, and it's perfect, a perfect shot.
Right.
Especially with Pennywise, and he's holding the balloons, and the way Andy Machete comes under his face, it's creepy, it's scary, and I loved it.
And I want to touch on a little bit of the photography itself, if you can call it that. Just the vibe of this film, in the way that it had this very stark colors, but there's just these pops of color every now and then, like sunflowers in the old house. Yeah. And the way it gave this really eerie feeling of what Pennywise is. It's a clown that usually is accepted as, fun and lovable, but he's evil. And I really appreciated that. Cinematography, we're going to give a 10. So music score, phenomenal.
I believe it's Benjamin Wolfish. Yeah, sorry. He did Lights Out, he did Annabelle Creation, and he's going to do Blade Runner 2049, and he did this film. And let me tell you folks, real quick. We love music score. That's what makes a film.
It's its own character.
It brings light, it brings depth, it brings everything to a film that's needed. And this music score brought everything. It brought nostalgia. And it brought such creepiness,
eeriness to it.
And it wasn't like that average, or stereotypical horror music score. Yeah, exactly. But it was its own, its own music score in this horror film.
This whole movie itself is just in its own genre now, or like we said before, redefining the genre for itself. So music score is definitely, and then that's gonna bring us. Yeah, thank you, sir.
And he's actually a protege of Hans Zimmer, one of our all-time favorite,
and the all-time great, Lion King.
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Much kudos to Hans Zimmer. Look at him, he's just spreading his
seed
all over the music composer world.
It's not this kind of video. Anyway, final act. The final act had a lot to live up to. It's a long movie. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. So you're talking about a final act that we all pretty much knew what was coming because we've seen the original or we've read the book. But so it has a lot to live up to, and it has a lot to cover in such a short amount of time. He did very well. So kudos again to Andy as a director, directing this final act, and it's just phenomenal. We have to give it a 10.
10, and our final unexpert analysis score is
100. I know you're thinking, we've gotten a lot of hundreds this summer, but it's been a great year for movies. It really has. It's been the best year in a long time for movies.
Honestly, because last year sucked.
And it's not even over. We still have Thor, Justice League, Star Wars,
American Assassin. We have
even this month,
Blade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner's coming out. The Mother's coming out this month too. So we have a lot of reviews coming up this month. So
stay tuned, guys.
And let us know what your favorite Stephen King film adaptation is, and leave a comment and a like and subscribe and,
of course,
share.
Guys.
That's right.
We'll see you next time on the Unexpert Analysis.
Deuce.